What is going on, everyone? My name is Ethan and welcome to the Fandom Hub. Today I'm going to be looking at all 4 of Juice WRLD's albums and ranking them from worst to best. I'm not going to rank any of his EPs because I feel like it wouldn't be fair to compare them to his commercial albums, but I still really enjoy them. Make sure you guys drop a like on the video if you enjoy this type of content, and subscribe to be notified when I post more. If this video hits 60 likes, I'll do a video on my top 10 or 15 Juice leaks. Anyways, without any further ado, let's just jump right into it. Coming in at number 4 is World on Drugs. Now, I'm sure this isn't really much of a surprise to anyone. I feel like we all kind of disliked this project when it first released. In theory, a Future and Juice collaboration project sounds like a dream come true, but it really felt like Future didn't put nearly as much effort into this project as he should have. His verses came off as lazy for the most part, and I will admit though, over the years this project has grown on me a lot. I'm still in love with the cover art too, some of my favorite from 2018. I think Juice put in a good amount of effort into this album, and it rarely had any misses. For the most part, I think this album was ruined by some of the features, like Young Scooter and Young Bands, and of course Future, but again, I still really do enjoy a lot of the songs off here. My favorites being Astronaut, Fine China, 7am Freestyle, Reeler, and Hard Work Pays Off. There's a few other good songs in there, but nothing groundbreaking. That's why it takes my number 4 spot. And at number 3, Deathrace for Love. Now, just to be clear, this album is a huge step up from World on Drugs. Overall, there's only like 1 or 2 songs I'd skip on this album. It had great features and, again, great cover art. I grew up playing PS2, so it was cool to see a cover art themed like a PS2 game. This project was a bit long, which normally I wouldn't have a problem with, but I feel like there's a few songs that feel like throwaways that maybe could have been left off the album to help it flow better. These songs being Big and Desire. The rest of the tracks I honestly really enjoyed, but it was obvious quite a few of these songs were freestyled. Not to say Juice isn't a great freestyler, I honestly can't think of anyone better at freestyling than him, but it's weird that some of his best freestyles didn't make it on here, and were instead replaced by what are in my opinion some of his weaker ones. Regardless, my favorite tracks off the album are too many to name, so I'll just name a few. On God, Who Shot Cupid, Make Believe, Feeling, and Empty. Before I get into my top 2, I'd like to remind you guys that this is my opinion, so please take it easy in the comments. Please feel free to let me know what your ranking of Juice's albums would look like. I'd love to see what you guys agree and disagree with. I work too hard on these videos to get slammed for what I enjoy and don't enjoy. But anyways, let's get back to the video. And at number 2, Legends Never Die. It's pretty close with Deathrace, but I feel like Legends Never Die ultimately is a little bit better. It may also be because of the circumstances. When I first listened to this album, I was down at the beaches in San Clemente. It was midnight and I was just in my feels listening through every track. It's definitely one of the most memorable first album listens I've ever had. I guess I'm lucky the album itself was handled really well. They made it sound like Juice was really speaking to us from beyond the grave, and added in some religious elements with a lot of Juice's verses and skits that really helped set the tone as well. If you haven't already seen my video talking about how to handle a posthumous album, I go into detail on how well this project was handled. There's a few songs that I might have left off here, but I honestly like them all and don't mind it being as long as it is. I did, however, find it strange that they recently added Smile to the album a few months after it released. I enjoy Smile, which originally used to be the leak's Sad, and I actually think The Weeknd did really well on this track, but I feel like it works better as a single. My favorites off this album have to be Stay High, Wishing Well, Up Up and Away, Hate the Other Side, and Blood on My Jeans. If you'd like to see me rank all the songs on the album, I have a video on that I'll link in the upper right hand corner. And taking my number 1 spot, Goodbye Good Riddance. One of, if not my favorite album of all time. There are 0 misses on here. Life was good when this dropped. I'll never forget hearing All Girls Are the Same for the first time on Spotify, when that and Sticks and Stones were his only songs on his page, later renamed to Hurt Me. It dropped right at the end of my sophomore year and it opened me up to a whole new artist to fall in love with. It didn't have as many tracks on it when it first released as it does now. I believe Wasted and Armed and Dangerous were added later on, but even with those additions, it flows pretty well. I'm not a huge fan of the skits, but they're iconic and they fit the tone of the album. This album signified the breakout stage for Juice as he moved from underground SoundCloud rapper to stardom. It was, in my opinion, his peak, even though his following projects did not disappoint. I think the overall perfectness of this project is why most people were left unsatisfied with World on Drugs, which released later that year. I'll never forget rocking out to this album while playing Fortnite in its early stages with my friends or hanging out at the beach in the summer. He followed this album up with the Too Soon EP shortly after X's passing, which has 2 songs that defined the summer of 2018 for me. I don't know if it's the nostalgia or what, but I feel like this album is vastly unappreciated, and in years to come people will begin to appreciate it more as it influences a new wave of artists who were fans of Juice in his prime. Anyways, guys, that's going to wrap up the video for today. Let me know if you guys enjoyed, and make sure to let me know what other artists you'd like to see me rank. Right now, I'm thinking about doing Travis Scott, The Weeknd, or Mac Miller. I'll put up a poll on Twitter later this week if you guys would like to vote on it. Whichever gets the most votes will be my next video. Anyways, guys, it's been Ethan. Take care, stay safe, and have a good day. Peace.
Stop spitting and start shoplifting. I'm a nigga, so I'm not winning. When the cops kill me, the ops come, we fought them, we lost some indeed. And the outcome, they drop one, they got you, they take shots, we pop two. Not talking no pistols, I'm talking those pills. When I'm talking about shots, yeah, I'm talking about kills. When America plots for the end of us all, on my next